Hello and welcome to Bulk Clone Professional for Data Center. In this little instruction video we will give you an overview over what the Bulk Clone plugin can do for you. So once you have installed the plugin, you're ready to go, and what I'm going to demonstrate here is a hierarchy Bulk Cloning operation. So I prepared a little filter here with the Epic and some stories, and we can get to work. So you can find the Bulk Clone plugin integrated quite nicely into the bulk change operations. So when you click on the bulk change operations here, it actually reroutes you in a normal fashion into this section here. I choose all the items, and then you will have an additional radio button choice here called Clone Issues. So that is what Bulk Clone has added to this standard screen. So quite nicely integrated with the rest of the bulk operations, natively built into Jira. Moving on, we then get to the next screen, which is the main configuration screen. So there's a lot of configuration options here, which you can get description on the right hand side, and you can also read about them. If you click on the right hand side, you can get directly to the documentation aspects into it. So there's some things worth mentioning here. So the rebuild epic link, if we're going to bulk clone a hierarchy of epics and stories, we need to click that one basically. But it could also be any parent-child relationship, like in Jira roadmaps, for instance. Then you will click this one, rebuild parent link. You also have other things like this one is particularly useful. For instance, if you're cloning a set of template issues and you want the default reporter to be me, then you will actually set this one, and then you can sort of eliminate all the historical reporter items against this one. This one is also quite useful, so you will have prefixes here that can go into the summary or suffix on the summary as well, which is quite useful to have. And here you will have a label which you can set depending on what you want to clone. Let's move on. Moving into the next screen, you can then take the input source on the left here. You can redirect it to another project. So I will want to reuse the narrative epic to epic. I can remap the issue types if I want to, but right now I'm using the same. I want to also move the stories into Yellowstone project, target project, and that is fine. We're moving to the next screen. It's the same with the subtasks for all of the issue types. They move into the same target project. And then we move to the next part, which is the system fields. And here I can, for instance, alter the assignee or any custom fields which I will have. I could also set that if I wanted to here to a default value for the output set. I'm satisfied with the assignee field. And then we move on. And now the components here which are listed, I can then take a look at the component in the source project here, and I can choose to clone that directly. I don't need to add it into the target project. If they don't have that component, I can choose to clone that component directly into the target project. Same thing goes with the version, right? If it doesn't exist in the target project, I can choose to clone it in here. And then I set the assignee as I pick that one up. If you want to keep the values, you just click keep on the right hand side here. Let's move on. And on the subtask, in the stories, you will have the same, right? I will just want the input values to be cloned over, and season 1 to season 1 is mapping over, so that's quite nicely. And I'm the admin, so it will choose me as an assignee. So on the subtasks, which is the last step here, then the assignee is then assigned to me as well, because that's what I wanted to alter as an output set. And I think after this, we are pretty much set to go. So we come to the confirm screen here, where you can see all the confirmations on all the settings and altering of either custom fields or system fields we have done. And this sort of summarize all the changes and configuration options for cloning that we need to do. Let's get to work. Let's clone. So now it's cloning. It's not that many issues, but the structure is a complex structure where you will actually accommodate a parent-child cloning hierarchy perspective. So let's see what we get as an output here. So now you can see the output here. You can actually see that the unique label was applied for all of the issues, and you can actually see now that this is landing in the Yellowstone project, and the hierarchy is preserved with all the stories and the stories subtasks. So the full hierarchy has been cloned. So this is a typical scenario which you can expect when you do the cloning on a day-to-day operations, which will save you a lot of times instead of doing all this work manually. Thanks for now, and see you in the next video.